Well, hello, friends. Mark Martella here for Mark's Money Matters, your place for financial sanity and serenity. Well, I'm really excited about today's show. We're going to have some fun, give you some good understanding of how credit card companies make their money, and share with you my top 10 tips on how not to get into overwhelming debt on this upcoming Black Friday. But first, I want to remind you that every Monday I have my live radio show on News Radio 1580 WCCF AM, and you can hear it simulcast on iHeartRadio on WCCFAM.com. Last week, my special guests were Drew Clayton and Worth Graham, attorneys who handle securities matters. So basically, they shared some very scary stories of people who lost their retirements, their life savings, by getting scammed. So please watch that or listen to that show to learn how not to get taken. This week's show, coming up on this Monday, my guest is going to be attorney Jordan Riccardi. And what Jordan's going to do is explain to you how to keep more money from passing to your family when you pass away, instead of going to attorneys and accountants and to the government. Also, I know with the holidays coming up, you get to see a lot of the family members that you look forward to seeing, but there's also some of those family members that you may not have a great relationship with. And if you want to make sure that they don't get any of your money, you're going to want to listen to Jordan as well. So that's this Monday, 11 a.m., WCCF AM, News Radio 1580 at 11 a.m. Please join us, and of course we'll take your calls at that time as well, 941-206-1580. And you can ask me and my special guest, Jordan Riccardi, who will explain to you how to protect your assets so it goes to who you want it to go to, and not our wonderful government or attorneys and accountants eating all that money up. Well, I want to share with you a couple of Black Friday statistics so you get some idea of what next Friday is going to be like for retailers. Last year, according to the National Retail Federation, they reported sales during the holiday season at $655 billion, that's billion dollars. And they expect it to go up this year to $682 billion. It's 20% of their sales for the year, just on Black Friday alone. Comparing that to, say, when schools open, the amount of sales that happen then, around 72%. So this is a big time sales week, and they're doing everything in their power to try to get you to spend more and more and more. So I want to give you a little bit of perspective on how these credit card companies are making so much money. So we're going to do a couple of simple examples to hopefully really shock you as far as what the costs are and how the credit card companies make so much money. So let's take this simple example of a cup of coffee. So if you get a premium cup of coffee at your local favorite establishment, let's say it's $4. Got some special latte, macchiato type of drink. So let's say it's $4, and you pull out that credit card that you just got, but because you missed a couple of payments, maybe your interest rate, which is not unusual, your interest rate is 22%. At 22%, the $4 cup of coffee, if you pay it out, the minimum payment, if you look on your statements, it'll show you what the minimum payment is, and if you just make that minimum payment over 20 years, that's only 7 cents a day. So it's only going to cost you 7 cents a day. But that adds up, that $4 cup of coffee over that 20-year period has now cost you $17.83 for a cup of coffee. Who would pay $17.83 for a cup of coffee? Well, you are, if you're just making the minimum payments on your credit cards each month. So let's go to where now it really gets scary, and that's when we're talking about doing some Christmas shopping. So, you go to the store and you have this, these great deals they're showing you. So we start with, let's say, a flat screen TV, and they're giving you 20% off. So you're getting this great deal. It's only $997. And well, you got the new TV, you got to have the surround sound, right? It's got to sound good. So we get the surround sound system for $199. And you want to get your kids the latest and greatest PlayStation, and that's on sale. You get a good deal. Well, the PlayStation is only $299. And then either your spouse or your other kid needs a new little iPad, maybe an iPad mini with all the latest bells and whistles, and we get that for $499. So our total for all of this is a whopping $1,944. Okay? So you're spending almost $2,000 at one store, and the reason you spent that money, it's not because you have it in the bank. The reason you spent that money is because they had a great promotion for get a card, get 20% off. So, you're saving $300-400. Sounds like a great deal. But again, now you're getting the bill in 30 days, and you have to start paying it. And because of all your other bills, you're just paying the minimum. Well, on 1944, the minimum payment is only $37.04. So you're saying, well, $37, that's no big deal. I can do that. We won't go out to eat one night a month. So $37.04. But it's over 20 years. So this 1944 that you spent over the 20 years, these gifts that you won't have 20 years from now, I can assure you that, the total is $8,887. Would you spend almost $9,000 on these gifts? No, you wouldn't. But that's what you're doing when you're paying just the minimum. And look, I've been there, I've done it. So I'm not saying, it's not anything I've done. It's not a sin that I haven't committed. I'm guilty. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to understand how the numbers work out and how the credit card companies are just sucking you in with all these ads and all the stores. The stores don't care because they're getting paid up front. The stores are getting paid up front. You're the one who's paying this $8,000, almost $9,000 over 20 years for these things that you got 20% off. Do the math. It just doesn't make sense, but that's how they're sucking you in. So, how do you not get sucked in by these numbers? How do you not pay $17 for a cup of coffee and almost $9,000 for some Christmas gifts that you thought you were doing a good job by saving a couple $100? Well, that's where we're going to share with you my top 10 tips to avoid getting into unbelievable debt on Black Friday. So the first tip is something that you've heard before and something that should not surprise you. Set a realistic budget for each person that you have to buy for and track it as you're spending it. Have a little pad with you. If you like using your phone, use that. I'm more old school. I like to have a little pad 2x4 that you just write the stuff down, a little booklet. Keep track of everything. Put a person's name on each page, how much you're going to spend for them, and then keep track as you're spending it, as you go along. Number 9, start saving based upon your budget expenses. Now, if you haven't started saving already, it's a little too late for this year, but it's never too late to start. So start for next year. If you know you're going to spend $500 on gifts, $1,000 on gifts, start putting $100 away for that if you have that extra money. What's really neat, what I've seen is some banks and even some employers are doing is starting the old-fashioned Christmas club. And they would have started already, so you can make up some payments. But a great way, just save and budget so you don't have to use your cards. 8, comes down to educating yourself. Educate yourself on the products and items that you want to buy. There's so much opportunity on the internet. You can see where the best prices are and where the best deals are beforehand. You don't have to go out on Black Friday. The sales will continue after that day, and we're going to talk about the misconception about Black Friday and the ultimate manipulation that the stores are doing to get you in on that day. when you're doing this holiday budget, make sure the budget includes things other than gifts. You're going to be buying extra food, maybe some clothes for that party, adult beverages, decorations, other, Secret Santa gift. Make sure you're including all of those things in your budget. Number 6, and this is a hard one, exercise self-control for getting your own personal gifts. You're in that store picking up a baseball glove for your son, and there's that new putter that you want, and it's like, oh, I'm just going to pick that up, a little Christmas gift for myself. Or you see that new dress or new pair of shoes that you want, you say, I'm just going to grab that. Well, if that's not in your budget, that's not in your monthly budget for clothing or recreation, don't do it. It's so tempting. You see that great sale, but then when you put it in that card and you're paying the minimum, again, you see how much the cost can be. So you have to exercise that self-control. Here's another difficult one, but one that works and is also, like I said, very difficult. It's limiting the expectations of your kids or your significant other. Having an understanding that it's not an unlimited pot. That's not what you see on TV and these commercials about kids coming down to tons and tons of gifts. Especially if you have grandkids, it's tough to do. But if it's going to put you in debt, and if it's ultimately going to force you to see me for bankruptcy filing, it doesn't make sense. So one of the unique ideas that I've come across, and it's from somebody who teaches minimalism, but tell your kids they're going to get 3 gifts. They're going to get a gift they need, a gift they want, and then an experience. And I can share with you years and years ago when I took my son to his first baseball game, Yankee game. It was an experience, and my wife and my daughter was there as well, and so we all got to share these experiences, and that's how you can do it, with whether it's tickets to a show, an overnight trip somewhere, something special. But this particular baseball game that we went to turned out to be, it was a Yankee game against the Twins, and it was David Wells' perfect game. It was the first perfect game ever in the history of Yankee Stadium, other than Don Larsen's in the World Series. So it was the first regular season perfect game. So certainly a memorable experience. I don't know what else I got on that birthday. He doesn't remember it either, but I know we always remember that baseball game and think of it fondly. So think of an experience that you can enjoy with your family. And again, try to limit those expectations a little bit, because if you're trying to outdo yourself each year and you don't have the funds and you haven't saved the funds, you're going down this slippery slope of overextending yourself. Number 4, avoid the store credit cards offering get the card, get 10%, 20% off. Because if you look at those cards when you get the statements, that interest rate is going to be generally 22 to 28, 29%. So that 20% off that you got gets eaten up really quick. And again, it's just a way to suck you in, to have that card into your wallet. It sounds like a great deal. Hey, you're spending $100, wouldn't you like to save $20? Makes perfect sense, except you don't see the fine print on the crazy, ridiculous interest rates they charge. Number 3, be aware of the biggest Black Friday trick of all that you're going to see. And it's called the loss leader. What does that mean? Basically, the store putting out some amazing product like a big screen TV at a ridiculous price. So if the TV is normally $1,400 and they're selling it for $99 for the first 10 people that show up, that's how they get you there. They can give it away for free because that's going to attract so many people. It's going to attract those crazy people camping out, waiting online for days and days and days. And I don't understand. If you have time to sit out there and camp for days and days and days, is it because you don't have a job? And if you don't have a job, how are you affording this stuff? Or is it because you have so much money that you can take off all that time? And if you have so much money, is it really worth it? And then ultimately, do they understand the value of their time? Even if you put your value of your time at $10 an hour, spending 4 days, you're spending $1,000 of your time. And if you're up north camping out in cold on hard ground, I don't get it. But obviously, the media feeds it. They should have their cameras there and stuff. It's a big trick, everybody. It's a trick to get you in there. Because if you don't get one of those TVs, what do? Do you say, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going home? No, you're staying there and you're buying more stuff and more stuff that you didn't intend to buy. So it's a trick. It's a lost leader. It's been something done for forever. Don't fall for it. You don't have to go there on Black Friday. Again, like I said, it is their biggest trick. Number 2. This is the easiest one to follow, and it's the one that will make sure that you won't overspend on your credit cards. Have a plan. When you're going to the store, I'm getting A, B, and C, and I know it costs $120. You go to the store without any credit cards in your pocket. You only have the $120 that you need, nothing extra, and you go there and that's all you buy. If you don't have the money, you can't buy it. They're not going to give it to you, and you're not going to go get that free credit card they're giving you so you can get that great deal that you didn't know about before you went to the store. Just bring enough cash to buy exactly what you intended to buy. Again, a challenge, but I can assure you, if you don't have the credit card on you, you're not going to charge on it. And finally, the number one best trick, or best tip, not to get into amazing credit card debt on Black Friday is just cut up the damn cards. Cut them up. Make that commitment. That's the hardest thing, that psychological part, to make that step to say, I'm not getting into debt anymore. Cut up the cards and get rid of them. And you won't have that debt anymore. So again, you have these 10 tips. I'm going to post them. Obviously, they're here, but I'm going to post them in writing on the Money Matters website and share it on Facebook, so you'll have that. If you know of people in your family or friends that are planning their whole next Friday or Black Friday already, share this video with them. If you like these videos, please like the Money Matters Facebook page. Again, all of these are saved on the Money Matters Facebook page, as well as on the Money Matters website. The Money Matters website is www.markmartella.com, and you can find all these episodes as well with the radio episodes and tips and tools and free resources. A great budgeting resource we have on there that will help you as well. Again, this Monday, we're going to have as our special guest Jordan Riccardi, is going to help you keep more money and pass it on to your friends and family. And finally, as we enter this Thanksgiving week, I want to wish all of you and your families a very happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you will have an opportunity to sit around with your family and friends and think about and reflect on what you have to be grateful for. If you have a roof over your head, if you have a nice meal, and you have some loved ones around you, that's really what's important. I think we're very fortunate in this country to enjoy these freedoms and celebrate the original foundings of our country on this weekend. So take the time to, don't worry about spending your money in Black Friday, but spending some time with your family and enjoying them. Until next time, I'm Mark Martella, and remember, you have the power to choose to live a debt-free, stress-free life. Have a great week.